Hi there. So today I'm going to tell you about my big story idea that I've been talking about. As I said in my intro video, when I was a kid, I devoured stories. I devoured books of all sorts like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, Aragon. I devoured that stuff. I'd read like 400 page books in just a day or two. And so then I started having, ideas of my own. None of those ever worked out, like I said. But recently I had this idea. It's going to be kind of difficult to talk about because I don't want to give too much away. I want some parts of it to not be spoiled by the time that I hopefully end up producing this book, novel, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where it ends up. But it started out with the idea of what if in the future there is half the human population is awake during the day and half the population is awake during at night due to like overpopulation or something. I started toying around with this idea more seriously about 2 weeks ago, and so then I started doing a bunch of research, and then I started working on it and brainstorming, and I was like, all right, I think I've got some good stuff to work with here. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and start talking about the story. The best way I can describe it will be as a capitalist dystopia. And the story is actually going to take place in like 2120-ish. I figured it could be interesting if it would be like the next roaring 20s. The big crisis in this story is going to be overpopulation. Humanity will have tried to solve overpopulation by going to the moon, establishing a colony, and establishing a Mars base, and developing technology and architecture to be able to have people live on top of water and underneath the water. So at this point in the story, global warming will have gotten pretty bad to the point that most of the ice in the North and South poles have melted. The big thing that happened that prevents people from leaving the planet is this thing called the debris field. The debris field wasn't in my original plan, but I was watching a video. The video was talking about the danger of like old satellites and rocket pieces and stuff in our atmosphere. And at the speeds they're going, if they were to hit and then explode and cause this like sort of shotgun effect, could easily cause a domino effect, and then boom, suddenly we're surrounded by this death ball of like floating debris particles that are traveling like 30,000 kilometers an hour. So in my story, after overpopulation has gotten really bad, people have gone to space and they're like, all right, this is going to be our big break. Humanity is going to become an interstellar species. This is how we're going to solve overpopulation. Then some satellites collide and the Earth is surrounded by a death ball essentially. Which confines people to the surface. And then that's where this whole idea of the day people and the night people is going to play in. The world is going to be mostly a one world government with the exception of a few superpowers, but most of the shots are going to be called by mega corporations. Yeah, so one of these mega corporations is going to pose the idea of somehow it's either going to be some kind of genetic modification or it's going to be a pill that people take will enhance their senses, specifically for nighttime, so like their night vision will be much better. But either way, roughly half the population is going to be awake only at nighttime, and that's when they're going to do their jobs, and then they'll go to sleep during the daytime. So I haven't worked with the characters at all yet. The angle that I'm coming at, this story idea, is by establishing the setting first. And my whole idea with that is that it would be much easier for me to write a story about a day in my life as opposed to an idea where the only thing that I know is happening is that they're stuck on the earth and that overpopulation is really bad and that there's these weird night people running around. So I'm trying to really establish the setting, and that ranges from like the government to the companies that are around to what's the world look like to what are the jobs that people have, like are there going to be new jobs, what's food production look like, all sorts of stuff. So I'm doing a crap ton of research to figure all this out, to try and keep it realistic, because although it's a story so I can have some fun, I'm also trying to keep it realistic, just for the sake of being more believable and hopefully more interesting. I think the next video that I'm going to put up of this story idea is going to be me drawing out the map of what the world's going to look like after global warming's taking place. I'm really excited for it. I'll keep y'all posted. It probably won't be quite as often as my other videos, just because this sort of thing, it takes lots of time and it takes a lot of trial and error. I'm going to be bouncing ideas off of friends and family to see what they like, because already I've had some ideas that after talking about it, I was like, oh, never mind, that doesn't make sense. So I want you guys to see the highest quality product. It might not be super often, but it'll definitely be there, and I think it'll be really interesting. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.